afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Who is,
Good afternoon, sir.
which voice am I hearing? Is that Adama or who? Which voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
But it seems others are not serious. I don't know what is happening. If you are in your houses and yet you cannot come to class online, I don't know what is the problem. University has made enough effort for you to get things on, but in the comfort of your zone. I left my house to go to another center where I can access uh, internet. It's about 2 kilometers from my house. I trekked down to the place this morning. I don't see any reason why the students should not be on board. So I'm starting my lecture, please. So whoever wants to let them join. Last time we learn how to keep their time. Today we're going to discuss an essential thing. We have two things to discuss, but what we'll try to do, our main topic today for the first part is magazine production process. Since we could not go for the magazine, the field trip, I thought it necessary to, discuss in detail with you the processes, the general process of producing a magazine so that you can actually know it. Well, in future, if God permits, we may have sit on that field trip. But for today, we are going to focus on the entire process of producing a magazine. We are going to take a look at the process that every magazine goes through before it is produced, made into a finished product. Please, everybody should switch off. You should mute your microphone, except when you want to ask questions, so that it doesn't affect the recording process. So like I said, we are going to take a look at the process that every magazine goes through before it is produced or made into a finished product for consumption by the public, before consumption by the public. Magazines, one thing you have to know first is this. Magazines, unlike newspaper, magazine unlike newspaper takes quite a long time to produce. It takes a long time to produce. Average magazine takes about 3 months to be produced. It takes about 3 months to go. We are newspaper, especially dailies, takes like 24 hours to be produced. Now let us take a quick look at the production process of magazine. The steps are as follows. We have about 10 steps which you have to take to end the production of a magazine. The first step, of course, is that you must decide on the date of publication. Decide the date of publication. The first thing to do is to set up a date of publication. Set up a date of publication. The date of publication is simply the date that the magazine should be released as a finished product to the general public. Once this date has been established, you are now operating a schedule. This is very important that you understand that you must pick a date. Like in our own case now, we have chosen a date, and that date is the second quarter of the year. We have chosen that our production will be from April to June. So by God's grace, by the end of this month, our magazine should be ready. That is our date, inshallah. Then a schedule is your plan on how you are going to go about the production process and when each process will occur. That is your plan. You must have every activity bound with a date. Every activity with a date. That is very important. Then the second thing you need to do is managing the schedule. You now have to manage that plan. That is the second thing you have to do. This is an extremely important step the producer should undertake. It's an extremely important step you have to undertake so that you can have, you don't take it for granted. When it comes to product of magazine, if you want the magazine to be produced successfully, then you must properly manage the schedule. You must properly manage that schedule so that you have a good production on your hand. That is very important. Now, uh, it's very important that you understand that your schedule should be made in such a way that there are provisions for certain mishaps changes. This is very important. I mean, it must be such that when you are producing it, you make sure that you have this production schedule and you provide for exigencies. Uh, Let me ask a question. Did we, I said create a plan, and in that plan, you have to provide for exigencies. Provide for exigencies of that plan. That should, in case anything happens, your plan will still be intact. That is what I mean. Now, what should be the content of that your plan? The plan you are managing. One, the deadline for when each story must be submitted to the editors and sub-editors. Two, the time for proofreading. Three, a design schedule with timing. Four, enough time for the editorial board if you guys want to look over the magazine. Five, your printing deadline. And six, your distribution date. So now, this is what we are going to do after this class today, to fix a date for this team now. We're going to fix it after this class. So that is your plan. Now, after that, the third step in the process of producing a magazine is to create a detailed plan for each story. You create a detailed plan for each story. Once you have confirmed your overall content plan, you will want to follow with a detailed plan for every story to be publishing. You know, here, like for instance, I've said that everybody is going to is going to produce a page with all your materials. So we now plan all the content, what the content are for, the purpose they are serving. And of course, that will be taken care as you write your stories and as you plan the page. So you must create a plan, a dummy plan for the page you are handling. So as to what is the objective, you have to examine the objective of the content and how do you position the content, both the text and the pictures. This is very important. Like I said, the content of a story, what is the challenge it will address for your audience? That is one. Story types, like what type of article will be the best to fit it for the story? Is it an interview? Is it a feature story? Is it a poem? Is it what and what? Is it news? Or is it a combination of those elements we have mentioned? Feature story, interview, news, light news, and whatever. So these are the plan we are going to handle in your uh, in your page on your page. Now, the fourth step is editorial and budgetary decision. Editorial and budgetary decision. The next step that is taken during the production process of a magazine is the editorial decision. Now, the editorial decisions involve the following. One, the magazine editorial team assembling and deciding what topics will be covered in the next issue of the magazine. The editorial board has to decide what and what will go into the edition they are producing. That is, they have the final say. And the chairman of that board gives the final vetting to the decision of the editorial board. So in other words, It is not you alone that will decide it. It's a combination of your thoughts that you arrive at what goes on in the case. And the chairman of the board has the final say over it. In this case of impact, Nile Impact, the course instructor, that is myself, has the final say on what goes on, although with the input of the heads of group, I mean those who are heading each of the groups. So that is the function of the editorial board. Yeah. Now, the editorial team basically talks about various content that will make up the magazine. Like I said, various content that we talk about, they will decide on the content that will make up the magazine. And of course, they will produce a detailed plan, long list, a checklist of all the material. Page 1, what and what goes into it. Page 2, what and what goes into it. Page 3, and so to the last page. That is how it is done. Then after deciding which types of articles, article ideas or topics, news stories, illustrations, photographs, okay, but the photograph will be used in the magazine. The team now makes the budgetary decision. That is another function of the editorial board. The editorial team also now do the costing of the materials to be used for the magazine. That is very important. So that is the decision we are going to make at the end of the meeting, so that we now decide, all the heads of group have to stay back, we decide what to do. We decide all together in a very decent way, without any problem. Now, available them and how it will be spent. They will decide how much is to be contributed, how do they get the money, and also how will the money be spent. Having done this, it is now time to move on to the next stage, and that is content acquisition. When the editorial board has decided what and what to be used, content, then the next thing is the content acquisition. How do you acquire the content of that page? The content acquisition process is arguably the most important step, because without content, we simply cannot have the magazine. I've always said that the content determines the magazine itself. If there's no content, there is no magazine as a finished product. And the quality of content, of course, will also determine the quality of the magazine publication. If your content are watery, then you have a watery production at the end of the day. No matter how sophisticated the printing may be, if the content is not solid, there's something you cannot have a good patronage. So content, therefore, is the king. Content is the king when it comes to magazine production. There are two major ways that content can be gathered for a magazine. Two major ways. The first is through in-house staff writers. You can have your like all of you now, you are in-house writers. You are in-house writers. You have been doing research all over all these days. Now, whatever you come up with, that is a source. Then also another source is through external writers that are commissioned to write on topics that are specialists in nature. For instance, we are in the mass comm department. We could ask those in medicine to write something about, to write safety tips against corona. That is a specialized thing. They could come up with a special, because they are from outside. That's the specialized writing. We could ask those in engineering to write on robotics for us, or the future of 5G, for instance. They are in the engineering, the IT engineering department. So you can ask commissions of people outside your team, your internal team, to have some sources for you, to have some content for you. Now, In the last stage, it is at this stage that that artwork and graphics are also worked on. There's something you call artwork. Artwork, is the graphical model of the magazine itself. How the magazine is going to look like finally. That is what we call the artwork, where how you have the design there, everything, and even some resemblance of the contents. You have the content, and there's a way, a particular by which it is done. So this is very important. Uh, so now the artwork also worked out. The artwork is defined as illustrations and pictures that are going to be placed in the magazine. Graphics are the pictures used are the pictures or images that are designed with a computer program. You can use hand, then later you perfect it with your computer. At this stage too, a lot of research is made by journalists or reporters into topics and events being covered. The research can be done via the use of the internet and news databases. Meetings are also streamed with interviews. I also state, as some of you have been preparing all this while, we have interviews with a special personality. Then the sixth step in the process of producing a magazine is the sub-editing. Sub-editing. This is the next step to be taken. Sub-editing, sub-editing focuses on one major thing, which is quality control. That is what sub-editing focuses on, quality control. If the media organization is big enough to have a sub-editor, fine, then it's going to be responsible for this job. But if there's no sub-editor, then the editors does this job. This step involves the following important things. Like we have said, we have our own arrangement for Nile Impact. We have said that all the leaders of the groups will constitute the the sub-editors. You edit one to give to another person, edit to another person. So that is our responsibility. So at the end of the day, what will they be checking for? One, checking of the accuracy of all facts in the articles. That is their first job. They check the accuracy of all facts in the articles. They ensure that they are not plagiarized work and it is facts and not fiction.
Sir, please, what's the sixth step?
The sixth step I said is sub-editing.
Okay, sub-editing.
Sub-editing. And sub-editing, I'm trying to tell you now what it entails. What that is for quality control to ensure that the content is of high quality and to ensure that these are the things they have to do. The sub-editor must do. One, checking of the accuracy of all facts in the articles. Two, making sure that words are properly spelled, that they're properly spelled. Now, it is spelled. Word are properly spelled. Now, making sure that grammar and punctuations are used correctly. That's another work. Then fourthly, making sure that all articles follow the house style. All articles follow the house style. Every organization every publishing organization has a policy of house style, what they call house style, policy of editorial policy, and that's what we refer to as house style. So they have to follow the house style. Then working on the page layout, the sub-editor also work on the layout. I've said if there's no sub-editor, then we have sub-editors or the editor himself who takes charge of all this duty. What is important is that somebody or a group of persons must take care of all this. And seventh process is this: page layout. Page layout. You create a design mock-up. In big publications, there is a special team responsible for page layout called the layout staff. Their job is to typeset and lay out and come together. Uh, the work we do when we do page layout, how do you do it? You have taught that, and I expect by now everybody knows how to do that. You first make a dummy, that is a dummy with your hand. You plan it there, then you now transfer your dummy with the computer to have the final layout. By now, I expect everybody to know how to do your layout. You have demonstrated it in class at least 2 times. So I'm expecting that everybody will make a layout of your page, which you are going to produce, not just the finished product. I want to see the layout. The marks for the production is stage by stage. You have to lay out everything, the page, the text, and the articles. Everything will be graded. That is it. So the job of creating now is typeset and layout the page. Please put off your microphone. It's affecting the recording. Like I said, they will typeset and they create the layout through a dummy and make the magazine. In performing this act, however, they use very powerful desktop publishing program, such as InDesign or PageMaker. The one we have been using is PageMaker, which we use in class to get the work job. So you have to open your PageMaker to do the final layout. It is at this stage that adverts from advertisers are placed into the content. So I hope that is clear. That is what you have to know. That is clear. And the eighth point is proofreading. That is the eighth step in the production process, proofreading. Once the above stage, excuse me, I want to sip water. Proofreading. Once the above stage has been completed, that is the page layout, the next stage is proofreading. The editorial department will print out a hard copy of the magazine for the sole purpose of reading through to find and correct any mistake in it. It is easier to proofread a hard copy than it is to proofread a soft copy. So after the layout, every editor will order the printing of the pages you have produced. That is the hard copy of the magazine. And it will be shared for proofreading to note the various errors. And after that, they now go back to the soft copy and insert and effect all those corrections in the soft copy. Then any mistake that is spotted is quickly corrected on the desktop platform file. Then the data team keeps proofreading until every member is satisfied that all mistakes have been corrected. If there are 5 people in the editorial team, the practice is that every person will go through every article and content of that magazine. If I handle all the articles to be listed, article 1, 2, 3, 3 to 40. So everybody, if I handle it, I'm the first person I handle it, I will edit. I'll give it to the second person, he does his own. He gives it to the third person, to the fourth person, to the fifth person. I take another article, I edit, I transfer it. So by the time it goes round, 5 eagle eyes, yes, you can be sure you have a fine, presentable copy. That is a professional way of doing it. And if there's only one sub-editor you have, or an editor, himself an editor, and if there's only one editor, yes, he does everything. He takes the responsibility. And that is why he is the editor. Because anything that goes in that paper, the editor will be held responsible. When it's either is praised or is rebuked, is going to be praised if the things are okay, and it will be rebuked if spotted with mistakes. There are so many mistakes there. So he has to take responsibility of that. So the ninth step in the production process of the magazine is that file email to a printer. After the proofreading has been done, after the corrections are made on the soft copy, then you now email it to or send it to the printer. After proofreading pages, then the printer and the entire magazine is sent to the printer, whose job would be to print the magazine. It is at this point the popular term pre-press comes in. Pre-press. There's something called pre-press activity. And what does it involve? Pre-press is defined as the process of checking to make sure that you are sending all the fonts. You are sending all the fonts and images needed. Who's talking? Huh? Who's talking? I said pre-press is defined as the process of checking to make sure that you are sending all the fonts and messages, images needed for the magazine with your file. For instance, if you need 50 pictures, you have to ensure that those 50 pictures are intact. If you are sending some, what do you call it? Sending some cartoons, they check. If it is 10 stories, news stories, they check. 20 picture stories, they check. One by one, you have to check and make sure everything is correct, page by page. Then this stage is, when this stage is over, the printing copy takes over. Before the printing company ever takes over, before the printing company prints the hundreds or thousands of copies requested by the publication, the company first prints a few copies and send them to the publication's editor for checking once again, and this is called the printer's proof. You must provide a printer's proof. You don't just go ahead to run 1,000 copies. No. After you are checked, they will print maybe just about 2 or 5 copies. Maybe if the editorial team is made about 5 persons plus the editor, that is 6. They will print 6 copies. So they will send it to the editor, so that the editorial team will go over it again for the last time to check for mistakes. So now, if they do this correction and they vet it, they will sign it with a letter approved, or okay, this one, please take note of this. There could still be some errors. They will still point out, go back to the DTP, the soft copy, make the amendments before they send the final copy. If the editor and his team are satisfied with the printer's proof, then the green light is given to the printer for mass printing to commence. After the final, then they produce hundreds of thousands or thousands. The copy the printer prints is the final finished product, the magazine that readers are going to have in their hands to read. Then the finished product has arrived after the printer has printed. Usually, there are various machines which you use. Later, we're going to discuss the materials used. But this is the process of the producing a magazine. And the final stage is distribution. Distribution is the last stage of this entire process. The printing company, having finished with the printing of the magazine, we'll package them neatly and send them to the warehouse or to the editor's office. From the warehouse, magazine are then distributed and sold to the public. So this is the 10-step process of producing a magazine. By now, I expect that all of you now knows the ABC of producing a magazine. And I can assure you that this is going to be a compulsory question in your exam. So I want you to go right again. I'm going to put this material, this note in your portal, study it very well. But before that, I will request for questions if you have questions so that we can quickly take that. You're welcome. Questions? Comments? Clarifications? Hello? Are you there?
No questions, sir.
Taiwo?
I have no questions.
No question, sir.
So no question.
No question, sir.
We're all brilliant students. That's good. Clap for yourself. You can't clap for yourself. Lola? I said you're all brilliant students. You are all brilliant students. So clap for yourself. At least for having
Yes, sir.
taken you. Now, let's discuss how we're going to have it produced. Maybe before that, let's have a break, a quick break, then we'll come back and to discuss that extensively so that you know where we are going from. Huh?
Sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, what about the assignment? Let's go to the assignment. The assignment.
So we'll be asking for your email.
It says you are supposed to submit the assignment this week for us to grade it as your CA. So we are using your assignment as your midterm test, based on the midterm test. So I'm going to send my email. I'm going to send my email to you, my Gmail, so that we send everything. What I expect from you are the videos, write-ups, videos, future stories, the videos, news, and also the videos interviews. So I'm going to have that from you so that thereafter we can have a selection of the materials we're going to use. The group leaders
Sir, please, I have a question.
after this class so that we can have the materials of your members. You know, you have 8 people. You must have the record of all those 8 people. I will have it, or you also will have it. So now for everybody to make submission, you want to make submission to me, then also to your group leader. So that you are going to work hand in hand. The group leaders will start the editing from now. Because you continue with that team, they will start the editing from now. So I'm going to make sure that we're going to fix the end of this week, that is Friday, as the deadline for submitting all that you have been working on all these things.
Sir, please, I have a question.
You start to submit from today, start submission up to Friday. After Friday, well, there will not be any room for submission again.
Sir,
I have a lot of assignments to grade, and I will start to grade. But as they come in from today, I'll start grading. I'm not going to wait for anybody. So that is one. Then for the group leaders, which is the team, we begin to go. We have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to go through 2 weeks. To make sure there are 8, make sure one, at least you go through one article every day. And as you go through, you send it to the other person for them for you to go around so that the job editing also go together. So that is very important.
Excuse me, sir.
Can you get what I'm saying?
Yes, but we have a problem in my group.
You said what?
We have a problem in my group.
In
my own group, we have a little problem.
I am coming, I will entertain all the questions. So now, what it is that make sure you have all these things submitted. You know, now that is an opportunity for you. It's 40 marks. So, and I'm going to break them down. The process is going to be formal. So, if you can have 38, 37, 35, and you can have as low as 5 or 10. So, it's whatever you choose. But I hope everybody will be able to score the marks. The marks are there for you to have. So now the ball is now in your court. I want all the articles to be in on or before Friday. The university calendar says midterm is 6 to 10. 6 is yesterday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Friday is the deadline. I've given you more time. You also have submitted this for the past 3 weeks. So you have had extra weeks. So I expect that you will have made the best use of the extra time you had. So now that is about that. Then for your exam, I said, we're going to working. We're going to, for your exam, everybody is going to work, like I said, work on your page. By now, I expect that you get your pictures ready. Try to submit the pictures you're going to use along because I'm going to create them. I'm going to create your articles and your pictures. So, but what is going to happen is that make sure you keep a file. You keep a file of all the both soft copy and hard copy. It's very important. So by the time we resume, you can have it. Our exam, because now this is the 9th week, and the next 3-4 weeks, I mean, we should be talking about exams. I said this is a provision course. We're going to work ahead of time. So what is important is that you, after you have submitted this, start to work on your page. You have treated the page planning, how to fit in text, how to make your dummy, make a dummy for your page. After the dummy, now establish, go on the publisher, open the publisher page, attempt to put the soft copies there based on what you have planned. Whatever you have done, show me the dummy, snap it, keep it. The dummy you have produced, the final one, snap it. I mean, keep it because I'm going to request for it. It's not going to be.
So why don't we email the dummies?
What?
Why don't we email the dummies to you since we are doing them on Microsoft Publisher?
We don't have publisher.
You have to go and look for it. May God help you to see it. That was what he used in the class.
Mr. Ashraf
was meant for us, so we
At
were meant
what?
to bring our laptop.
Mr. Ashraf said he was going to help us download it.
Excuse me, you can download this thing. You can talk to him, you can download it. He could send it to you maybe through Google Drive. So what you do is that I will talk to him, let him send it to you too. But I don't know. You can download it. It's on Microsoft. There's no Microsoft, your publisher is there. Asha, what I'm saying is the paper one I want to see because that's where you start from. Let me see what you are able to put on paper. Use your pencil. Use your pencil. Later, then use for the final one. Use your ink. That is the dummy. Your sketch. Then it is that one you now use on the publisher. Then later you email that one to me also. I want to see your page where you have planned it. Then you submit a copy to me, a copy to the editorial team as well. That is second stage. The third stage is producing your something yourself. You are going to produce that to your page. Then you produce it, send it to me with all things, pictures and text, and headlines. We are talking about headlines. You must cast your headlines for it. Headlines, your text, your pictures, and the page plan. You want to see everything. All these things have marks. They are towards, that's going to be 60 marks. So what is going to happen? 60 marks. So all these marks will be broken down to all these areas. So your dummy, your publisher paging, your final page, then the printing. Now, the problem with the printing now is that we're going to have, like I said at the initial, we're going to have both soft copy and hard copy. All the soft copies will now be assembled, will now be assembled based on the dummy we make. Like we said, we're going to for 24 pages. We assemble that. And when we assemble that, then we're going to have, I will have, well, because of time, we'll have had an online version of it. But if time permits us, I'll talk to that guy if you can have, but we must have the soft copies ready. Then also, because there's another software they use for that. I'll discuss the way whatever we can do. Now you now decide how much within yourself, how much are you contributing? Because whether we like it or not, we must produce it. Now, the school is not, I will try to discuss with the HOD again. Maybe if they will still be able to assist us to have the publication. But I wanted to put up a letter, but I'll do that now. So that maybe when the soft copy is ready, maybe the university will help us to produce some copies. So that's about that. Then we'll get to the newspaper class, we'll decide the same process. We'll decide how much you contribute. So each one of you will try to think of what to contribute to produce the newspaper. We'll try as much as possible to talk. I'll talk with the HOD. We'll speak with the dean for him to assist us so that they can help us to print the exam. But you must, because this will have to be ready before the exam. I'm going to set questions along all this I've said, and you submit all these things, this profile. Everybody's going to have a file, a portfolio. Item 2, item 3, item 4. You award on that. So that is the procedure and processes for our production. So I welcome your questions and comments and clarifications. Yes?
Please, my group, I think group C, we have a little issue. All our recordings and documentation are on Hafsa's recorder and her phone. Now we're meant to get access to her phone. Now we got the phone. We can't open the phone. It's only her thumbprint that can open it. Because once they switch off the phone and put it on, it's the thumbprint they need. So now we can't access anything.
That's the problem. Only her thumbprint.
Yes, only her thumbprint, because I know her password. It's not opening it. So that's how her Samsung is. Once you put up the phone for like a week or so, only thumbprints can open it when you come on.
But you people made a mistake. Why should you should have copies? As everything you must have copies. This is a group work. How can one person have everything? No, everybody must have it. But what about those things you submitted to him? Which one actually are you talking about? What are,
The recordings we did with Dr. Go for the the HOD, the voice tape, CSO. We started with the CSO. So she has everything because we were compiling already and doing the documentary.
so what are you going to do now? And you don't have any rough copies with anybody.
I have only one of Dr. Okonkwo, but it's like half. It's not the full one.
Okay, what you do, why don't you conduct, I mean, an online version with them again, with the CSO, with Dr. Who? Kabir Yusuf, or who?
Dr. Okonkwo
Dr. Konko. Who is that, Dr. Konko?
is the lady.
Okay, Dr.
Like,
Beatrice.
yeah.
You can conduct and you have that one with you, is that?
It's not the full one. It's half.
Yeah, but you can have an online something with him. Tell him or her, I mean the situation, they can grant you an online something like this. And you can have it recorded. In fact, it's even good that you have this software. I will try to talk to them. Then you can try to get them. I will talk to them. Is done and who? Dr. Beatrice and who?
Mr. Ashraf.
Ashraf
This thing. Yes.
and who?
Mr. Ashraf. Postgraduate HOD.
Postgraduate HOD, the coordinator, the dean.
Yes. The dean, postgraduate dean. Yes. We did
Oh.
the interview already.
Ha. Okay, we'll try to link up with them. Maybe they can grant you an online. So you still have the questions with you, is it?
Yes, sir.
Well, I will talk to them. I will talk to them so that book an appointment for you so that you remind me, right? You remind me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, question 2.
Mhm.
Now, we're submitting that documentary. That's 1. 2, we're submitting a new story, right? I just want to clarify.
Mhm.
That's
You are going to extract.
once again,
So you are going to extract stories from the interviews you have conducted now.
okay, stories from the interview. Okay, sir.
Okay. Another question?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Asking me.
My question, yes, sir.
How do you pronounce it? That was seeming.
Tawasimi, you're pronouncing it right.
That's good. Okay. Yes.
Okay, my question is, before we had this lockdown issue, we had 2 more people we were supposed to interview.
Wow.
So I was wondering if it would be okay to interview them through email, like through text,
No, phone
like
is
a written
better.
email.
No, phone is better. Yes, you'll be explaining them if you are asking them. If you want to have an interview with me, ask me to test. I will never look at your face even once. It's better. I mean, interview is better. Audio by audio or audio visual. You can use this Zoom also. You can use Zoom. I will connect them. You can use download this thing apart from the one you are using for the school. I mean, if you have the download, you can just book an appointment with them. They will host you,
Oh,
or you will host them, or it's better they host you, whatever, so that you can just have it like this and you record it. Then you just transcribe. I think it's better you use Zoom. It's better.
yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Another question? Okay. Najis, where is the Murtaza? Asha, that's an assignment for you. Bushra, I said you should get Murtaza for me. Where is it? Bushra, is she off? She's off line. Majis,
Mr. I don't know about Murtaza.
please, I want you to find out what is happening to him. What is happening to him? I want you to. I've not been at the place. I want what is happening.
Okay.
You should call me. What is happening to him? He's not been attending classes. I mean, everybody is at home. So what is happening? Let us know.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. So there's no question. Let us have.
Okay.
Then I have actually a comprehensive professional guide for you on the interview. So I don't know, but this thing is fluctuating now. Maybe we'll make it in next class. I will take it to be a joint class between with a magazine and newspaper on Thursday. Now they have changed the timetable again to Thursday. You know, now we want to have had this class 11 to 2, but they changed it again. So now it is now Thursday. They have changed the time again to Thursday. That is our usual time. So when we meet on Thursday, we're going to have that topic is useful when it's going to be a joint class of magazine as well as newspaper. So it's going to be a comprehensive discussion on interview. I know we have once taken interview, but I just feel that we have to discuss it again in view of the questions which some of you have, so that we can have the full details of it, and so that you can be well equipped about conducting interviews. Because interviews, I mean, cut across both print and even broadcast media. So you should have a good understanding of it. So on Thursday, we will have a thorough discussion on it, a comprehensive professional guide on interviews. So it will be a joint class of newspaper and magazine because the two are useful. So, any other question? Any question?
No question.
So on that note, we have to end the class for today. Please, I will send in my email to you now so that you can begin to send in your assignments for grading. If it is after Friday, I'm not going to take anything again. So let's remind me tomorrow so I can help you to make necessary contacts with the best. You can test the names of the people you want to interview so that I can be accurately reminded of whom I'm going to talk to, so that I'll help you to book an appointment with them.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. So have a nice day and stay blessed, everybody.
I've been greeting you since.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who is that? Is that Buka?
Yeah, sir, it's Bokaro.
But I greeted you now. I mentioned you did, when I talked the last time, you didn't talk now. When I talked, I called you. Did you answer me?
Yes, now I did. I answered you, sir.
Okay, that's very good. How is your holiday?
Thank you.
All of
Very
you
fine.
You are
Oh,
just
it's a fully holiday.
you are eating and sleep. Everybody is eating. I have to leave my house about 2 kilometers to go and look for network. I don't have time to rest in my house. Okay,
Sorry, sir.
all is well. So stay blessed, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Look at her eating.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
Okay, it's eating.